This stream is proudly brought to you by whatis.zs.com. ZS is coming soon. So what is ZS? Everybody's asking me, what is ZS? Well, it's something that I actually invented. That's right, folks, I actually invented the ZS. Right? It's got a different name for the product shelf, but it's currently known as the ZS. Does it work? Yes. Oh, it works so well. Works so well, I guarantee it for the life of the product that you place that item on. If you attach it to an item and that item lives and works for 100 years, I guarantee the product for 100 years. Now, how about that for a product? So yeah, I'm giving the ZS a big plug because this video is going to get watched by a lot of people. So I'm going to talk about the ZS for a little while. Now, the ZS is something, I used to work in a nightclub and a problem used to happen to me every single night, and I see it happening to everybody. And when a few people jump in the chat, yeah, I might tell the world. I'd never know, I might not. But it's coming soon, trust me, it's coming really soon. Very soon, I'm actually going to start a Kickstarter campaign. Now, the Kickstarter campaign that I'm starting for the ZS, right, it's not one where you invest in something and you don't get a product for 6 months. If you invest in the ZS Kickstarter program to get it off so that I can make the stock I need to put it on the supermarket shelves, right? All you're doing, my Kickstarter program, is buy the product I've already made. That's right, that's my Kickstarter program. You buy a product, you get sent a product. There's only one condition: you keep it quiet. You want it, you got to agree. You got to agree, and you got to sign it. That you agree not to tell anybody what it is, but you'll be told what it is. Nah, you'll know what it is. Don't worry, you'll get told what it is. But that's what it's been like for the last 16 years. And yes, and as to the heading of the video, I'm actually on medical cannabis at the moment. I've only taken 2 drugs. Yeah, 2 drugs for pain. I just had to think about that for a little while. Let's just say, if I hadn't have taken 2 drops of medical cannabis, it was THC and CBD. It's a mixture. If I hadn't have taken those 2 drops, I would currently be, by now, I would have taken 3 endone and 2 panadine forte in the time period that I've been home. Now, if I had taken those drugs, in about an hour, I'd still be alert and in agony. And now those are narcotic drugs. They are very, very dangerous narcotic drugs. They are actually currently killing me. And that's no word of a lie. That is the dead set honest truth. They are killing me. They are killing my liver. They are killing my kidneys. And even now, my spleen is enlarged. Yeah, I had medical problems last year. I'd had my gallbladder out. I underwent major surgeries. I think I went through 4 or 5 life-saving surgeries last year. I went through so many surgeries, I've lost count of how many surgeries I've had just in 1 year. And those of you that know me from my main channel, yeah, know that. Now, I finally got access to medical cannabis and everything, and sorry, I'm going to swap that over, but ZS is coming soon. Trust me, it's coming very, very soon. And once it's up there, you'll actually even see what the product is, right? It's patented too, trust me. It's patented, so you can't copy the bastard. And anybody that tries to copyright my product, mate, I'll sue them into the highest courts, and I'll do it. Make sure I see every case in the courtroom. But the ZS is a product that everybody needs. Everybody on the face of this planet. It will take me from being a disabled pensioner to being a rich man, yes. And I'll reinvest that money back. And why have I held it off so long? Because I've been using the What is ZS campaign as a way of making people realise and say, what is ZS? They already want to know what it is. It's been an advertising campaign I've done for a while. And I've done all the promos myself. I'm pretty good at it. I've been in advertising pretty much all my life, all my working life actually. I've been advertising, and I'm bloody good at it. This is just one of my good ideas. Now, the thing is, over the years that I've been trying to get this on, I've got broke and can never find the finances, and I thought, well, okay, I don't want to take money off people, right? I do not want to take money from people to get my product on the shelf, but I will sell you my product at a fair price, and I'll guarantee it for the life of the item that you place it to, because it connects to a certain item. The moment you put it on that item, it's guaranteed for however long that item lasts for. If it lasts for 100 years, if it lasts for 200 years, the ZS will be guaranteed replaced. Guaranteed. Let's just say, when I researched the products and everything to make it, I made sure I got the best in the world. And guess what? I can actually make it cheaper here in my own country than I can in China. Right? So those of you out there that want to invest in a good product, right? If you own a store, right? Just buy some stock to put it on your shelf. Let the customers come in and buy it off you, or you make a profit off it as well. The price I will be selling it at is my wholesale price. I'll never go under the wholesale price. The prices quoted on that Kickstarter campaign will be the wholesale price. Now, and it may change over the years as prices go up. At the moment, I can produce it for those costs. You sell it on and make money. And I get my product, I can go out and I can take the 60,000 I think I've got in storage. I can take that 60,000 and turn that into, I think I worked it out, about 30 million. I can then take that 30 million, and that 30 million sold will give me enough to furnish the whole world. That's 9 billion. That's how I'm starting my product. Yeah, I'm going to be a rich man. And yeah, I thought I'd tell you while I was off me tits. And yeah, it does get you that little bit way up there, but it doesn't make you into a raving lunatic like they made out in 1912 and 1918, I think it was, 1920. They didn't make it out there. Do you want to know something? I invented the ZS when I was off my face, when I was smoking back when I was younger. Right, that's back in the smoking days. Yeah, I smoked recreational cannabis back then. But yeah, those of you out there that want to support me when I do kick it off, yeah, follow me, because pretty soon the Kickstarter campaign will be going up very, very, very soon. But I'm still not going to tell you what it is until the Kickstarter program gets up there. But yeah, now those of you that know me, I haven't changed a little bit. I'm no different than the way you guys hear me, except maybe I'm not swearing as much, because this is going to also be used as a medical research video. I bet you 10 to 1. And I give my full permission for you to use this as medical research. And I don't think anybody would mind that. Now, also for those of you out there, my friends and all that, by now you all know that Mum has passed away after I did my last stream. And yes, I'm pretty upset about it. You can't help but to be upset when something like that happens to you and your family. So I thought I'd do this in honour of my mum, actually. My mum would approve of this video and me putting this video out there as research for the use of medical cannabis and for recreational cannabis, and she'd 100% approve. And My best friend, she was pretty much anybody that met my mum became her best friend. She had so many best friends, it was, amazing. But I'm sick and tired of saying that we're not stoners. Medical people aren't stoners. People that are on medical cannabis take medical cannabis. Unfortunately, the disjointed show on Netflix took a little bit too far when it came to the medical patients. Because when you're medical, you don't get that same high that you did when you were on recreational. Yeah, you're up there, but you're no more up there than I'm most probably halfway there compared to what endone would do to me. Actually, no, if it was endone, actually I'd be about a fourth of the way. And yet they give me those drugs freely and they're killing me. Now, cannabis has never killed anybody, folks. Now, I'm still, by the way, folks, those of you that watch this video and decide to use it for medical research, I have so far only taken 2 drops of 12 milligram of THC, and it's got 20 milligram of CBD. So, yeah, enough THC to make a normal person that would use it for recreational use get high. So, but I'm still in pain. Now, this bit's for the doctors out there. How to prescribe medical cannabis. Well, the thing is, everybody's system is different. I'm fat, so I generally take those few extra drops. And so I need those few to get me to the level where the pain is not there. But my mind is still exactly the same. I'm not... See, that was a movie made out to make us sound like idiots. But we're not. We're sensible people. We just want to go out there and do what we've got to do, and we don't want to be in pain. Now, medical cannabis users generally take the strong one at night, i.e. it's night time here, or it's going on night time here, and I'm in quarantine, so it doesn't matter. And it only lasts for about 4 or 5 hours. If you keep on taking it, it will keep the effect there. But the great thing about cannabis, like since I've been back on the cannabis oil, I think I've taken a total of 4 endone in 4 days. I take them when I have to, because you will go into withdrawal if you just go to cold turkey. And you've got to be smart enough when you're withdrawing down on them. But if you are an endone user and you get onto the cannabis program, now guess what? As an endone user, that is under one of the 42 conditions. If you are on a narcotic drug, you qualify for medical cannabis. That's right, folks. If you are one of these addicts out there that can't get off the heroin and everything like that, trust me, what is endone? It's pretty much heroin. It does the same effect. And this is why I hate it. Because I've hated it ever since I've been on this shit. Because if I take them at night, which I do, I have to take them at night, otherwise I do not sleep. Oh, I do now. Yeah, it's great. And I haven't, as I said, I've most probably taken 3 endone in 3 days just to keep the withdrawals away, and that's it. I'm still me. I'm no different. Yes, I did lose my mum yesterday, for those of you that don't know. And it was heartbreaking. And I'm still heartbroken. Hence, I'm not going to while I'm in mourning, I'm not going to top that fish tank up. It's got plenty of water. It's 360 litres, so don't worry about the fish. They've got tons of water. That's why I don't not worried about it. But the thing is, to me, I've always had trouble crying, and my guts want to spill, but I can't. So that's my tears. And so you're going to have to get used to that for the whole video, and most probably for a few days if I do other videos. But the thing is, I protest cannabis because I do believe I've used it in the past when I was younger, and I didn't need narcotic drugs when I was a smoker when I was a youth. I was in pain. I've been in pain since the age of 18. My accident happened when I was late 17-year-old. Yeah, most probably 17 and a half or something like that. I had my accident, and my whole side was crushed. That was my first accident, and the second one was picking up a box for the same damn company and did my back in totally. And I've been in pain ever since. I really have. I'm dead set been in pain all my life. So it's hard. You can't sleep a long nights and everything unless you take those damn dangerous drugs. And I'm hoping to be off them very, very soon. I'm hoping to not have to ever take them. I actually had to take normal Panadol today to keep my fever down. My fever's unfortunately, this is why I'm in quarantine, because I keep on getting high fevers. Tell you what my temp is, 38.9, so it's still up there. And but you want to know something? The medical cannabis is even helping me with the infection in my leg. I believe that's what's helping fight this infection. I don't know whether it's my body telling, or my mind telling my body to go and get the friggin' work. And now that the cannabinoid system is running, the infection seems to be getting better. Yes, I'm on an antibiotic that's not working, but so my body, I think, is taking over. And I can actually feel the fight going on in my foot because it's burning. And that's what it feels like. Yet the doctor said, no, it doesn't look like it. So I don't know whether it's the receptors in my foot starting to work again. I don't know. But the problem with medical cannabis is any doctor can prescribe it, but they're not prescribing it. This really works. The form is dead easy. I'll get it up on the screen. I think it's actually in the description somewhere. No, it's not. No, it's not in the description. Medical, TGA, medical cannabis form. It's so easy to find. Access to medical cannabis, therapeutic, TGA. And then you've got all the different things, and there is an actual web page there. I have been to it. Authorised prescribers. Cannabis for arthritis. Download the guide. See, all the doctor's got to do is go in and do a little bit of work, and have a look at what's actually happening in here. And the form's in here. I'm trying to find it. It's there somewhere. I've been there. I've seen it. And but the link actually is in the description in one of the other videos, which I'm currently trying to find, as you can see. Oh no, I'm on the wrong channel, so it won't be in the video, so I won't find it. But yeah, so those of you out there that actually pretty much go through pain, go to see your doctor and tell them, look, the form is online. It's way less easier to fill out than a Centrelink form. God, Centrelink form's got 9 pages. This has got 1 page, and it's not even a full A4. I think it's A5 or something like that. It's really small, and they've just got to fill it out, put a description in what's wrong with you, and as you're treating GP. Now, for the doctors out there, how to prescribe it? Well, I need to take a dose now because I'm still in pain. So all I'm doing, I'm getting my THC and CBD oil. I've just measured 2 drops. I've just taken another 2 drops. Now the great thing about cannabis, well, have you ever come across somebody that OD'd on it? Died from it? No. You'll never find anybody because it's never happened. You can't OD on this stuff. And you can't get hooked on it because you can just stop using this shit. But the only difference is if I stop using it, and then all of a sudden I'm going to be back on endone. But the good thing about being able to afford at least the 1 script It's given me the ability, while I'm here on quarantine, to actually get off these other drugs or get them down to a manageable dose, even though I know that's going to go up over time, because that's how it works with endone. You've got to withdraw off them every 3 months. But at least this way it's helping me withdraw off them. And but I'm not stupid. Do I sound stupid to you? I've actually got a very, very what's the word? Intuitive mind. I sit there and I study and I get ideas, I draw. I do quite a lot of stuff when I'm, like when I was stoned. Yeah, I painted some of my best paintings, and I'm a master artist, so I painted some of my best stuff back when I was younger, when I was off my face, because back then I didn't understand the dosing and things like that. Now, if I took too much, which I'm going to actually do, I'm going to take down the road, maybe in an hour or something, I'm actually going to take 2 extra drops instead of taking just 2, to prove that you can't OD on it, and it's not really going to do anything except give you that feeling of euphoria, which is total pain relief. That's it. That's all it does. So everybody is different. Some people need 2 drops, some people need 4 drops, some people need 6, some people need 10. I.e., I generally hit the 8 to 10 mark to actually get 100% pain relief. And it lasts me for a period of a few hours. I actually got, I think it was 4 hours out of it last night, where it was pain-free. I had a euphoric feeling because there was no pain whatsoever. I haven't had that since December anyhow, but before that it was nearly 20 years since I had a 0 pain day. But on medical cannabis, I have actually gotten those 0 pain days, and it's been absolutely great. And there's so much information out there for these doctors, and they're not doing anything about it. They're doing absolutely nothing about it. And they should be. Like I was at I had to go to the hospital today because my temp went back up again. Went back into the hospital. It was 40 again earlier. Oh, g'day uni maker. Sorry, mate. I do apologise. I haven't opened the chat up because I want to have my say first, and then I'm going to open that up in a little while, folks. So those of you that do want medical cannabis and do want access to it, and you have one of these 42 conditions, because where are we? All you got to do, go onto YouTube or go onto Google and go 42 conditions for medical cannabis in Australia. So you just go through the pages and you will find it, because there's tons of pages there. There you go. Guess what? It's the very first thing up on the page. Medical cannabis in Australia now approved for 42 conditions. So it goes through. This is actual Capital 8, but you've got to download their thing, and they want to charge you and everything like that. That is one way to get medical cannabis, but I do believe that you should have to go to the doctor. Let's say a lot of people pay the $200 and get knocked back because they're not fully explained what the 42 conditions are, and they're led to believe. I personally think the coppers should actually investigate this company for fraud, because they're ripping so many people off. Then so many people have actually gone to this company and been knocked back. And we've got Saunter Savia helps my lungs, back, bones, ribs, neck, head, no depression, less anger, stomach, because you were anorexic, and best of all my friends party on dude. I turned 60 this year. I'm 1 year behind you, darling. And so yeah, it's so a lot of people my age actually grew up with this with their parents. Like my parents used to be sitting in the middle of the table. Everybody just walked up and shared it if they needed or wanted some. And that's what it was like, except we weren't allowed to touch it. We were the kids. You go near that, my old man used to growl even. And but that's what it was like back in those days. In the 60s, it was a really, I'm glad someone my age come out there. And because this is so sorely needed globally, and it truly is. It's about time this... I'm addressing you, Mr. Hunt, because it's up to you to get this legalised for health and recreation. And you should do something about this cavalate, by the way. I did actually bring that up for a certain reason. They've been harassing me, even though I've told them that I've actually found a doctor, a proper doctor. And because so many people are being told, oh, yeah, thing, you just got to pay the $200. And then they get bounced back because it hasn't been fully explained to them. And I've heard so many complaints in regard to this company, and yeah, I'm letting people see. So yeah, don't go to Cavalate, folks. Go to your doctor, because your doctor has the legal right to prescribe medical cannabis for you if you need it. And they should be prescribing it. As I said, Doc, how you prescribe it is take 2 drops. If that doesn't work, wait a little while, and generally I wait about 40 minutes. If it hasn't worked by 40 minutes, I will take another 2 drops. And it can get anywhere from 8 to 10 before it's actually killed the pain enough for me to go into that bedroom and put my head down and sleep. Now, I haven't slept for over 24 hours. Why? Because I couldn't take the medications, because I knew that I needed to go to the hospital because my temperatures were up at 40, so I had to go and had to go to the hospital. And so I did. And the thing is, it's sort of, this has got to change. And I'm talking to every state, every country, that medical cannabis doesn't hurt you. Medical cannabis doesn't turn you into a fucking lunatic. And you say, oh, we just swear all the time. Well, guess what? That's just me. I come from Australia, mate. I grew up that fucking way. And that's the problem. No doctors will prescribe. Yet they have the legal right to prescribe. The doctors need to be dragged off into a massive seminar, because it's the only way you're going to get a doctor there, feed them and have them coffee and give them a few things, and that's the only way doctors go to these seminars, unfortunately. They should go. And that's the different good thing about mine. My GP goes to them. She hears about one, she's off, gone. I've got to go, I can't be late, so you've got to make it quick. And she's gone, right on through. And but the whole point is that they feel like drug dealers because they're afraid that they're going to get in trouble down the road. And this is the problem. But they're not going to get in trouble down the road. But doctors need to be educated. The government needs to send reps. And the cannabis companies need to send reps out to the doctors. So if you are listening, the medical cannabis companies, go and start canvassing doctors. Talk to them. Show them how to prescribe the drug. But it shouldn't just be for medical. Everybody should be allowed to either grow their own or access their own, have a certain amount on them at all times. Whether, like, it should be discouraged that they smoke, and everybody should be either head to the oil or head to other ways to consume it, because you only need to consume the little modules, those little white things that are on the leaves. The leaves are useless without that. They got a little bit in them. I smoked leaf when I was young. Yeah, a little bit. Give you a headache afterwards, but the thing is, you need to... Hang on, sorry. It's okay. Don't worry about that. I don't have any moderators in the room. So I've got to do all the work today. I didn't realise that. And but the point is, like, when you're on medical cannabis, you're not a raving lunatic. You're actually more sensible than if you would be on endone. Like, on endone, like, if I really need to take max dose, if I have to take max dose that I'm allowed, I'm like, if you've ever been in hospital, doctors, which you all have, you know what a heavily sedated patient is. That's what it takes for me to sleep. I have to be heavily sedated. I have to take a certain dose that is approved that will actually put me to sleep. But the problem is those drugs are killing me, slowly killing me. And I want off these drugs. So I've gone for the medical cannabis. Only problem is now I can't afford it. And if it wasn't for somebody making a generous donation the other day, I wouldn't have this sitting in front of me, so I can actually get rid of the pain. And it works great. Yeah, I feel a little bit euphoric, but not much. At the moment, I've still got screaming pain in both knees. I've still got screaming pain in my back and my foot. My foot still feels like it's burning. It's almost, the sensations are almost gone yet. And I've got massive wrist pain because I've got carpal tunnel in both wrists. I've already had surgery on one, but it still hurts. And as I said, I'm not a raving lunatic. It's not the devil's weed. For God's sake, everybody, you all need to realise that cannabis was around a lot longer. Do some research into it for yourself. If you are a non-smoker, okay, and guess what? You don't have to smoke it. You do. If you are a non-smoker and you want to try medical cannabis and you want to be able to use medical cannabis, it comes in for, I think it's MCT oil. It doesn't taste the best. And I don't know where my glasses is, so I can't read it. Sorry, I need my glasses to read it. I can read the computer screen. You'll notice, anybody who knows the computer screen, it's up reasonably large. But I've got it up on a 65-inch screen. 55-inch screen. The 65 one's damaged. Northbound patch made me off my face. First 3 days couldn't function. Yeah, that's the thing about with some of the stuff. It's sort of Northbound patch. Sorry, hang on. What's a Northbound patch? Is it a endone or something like that? I've never heard of Northbound. That's all. I don't know what it is. Can you deliberate? Would be greatly. Birdie Beetle, if you could deliberate on that, would be great. But the whole point is that too many of us out there are being killed. The doctors know there is an epidemic out there of endone and oxycodone and a lot of the other narcotic drugs, even the needles. Now, oh, okay, it's a morphine slow. Oh, okay, I do know what that is, actually. Yeah, I've had those patches. Yeah, they burn you. If you leave them on too long, you get a burn, man. I got burnt from the arson. Birdie Beetle said Northbound patches is morphine in a slow release form. Endone, morphine in a slow release form as well. The difference is you take them. But those patches, man, I burnt. I had a bloody chemical burn on my arm. It was a joke. But yet this stuff here, I don't know if you can hear that. That's me shaking the bottle. That there can't kill you. We have a cannabinoid system in our body. That cannabinoid system only operates with cannabis. Cannabis has been around and was even used by Christ himself. That's right, because Christ himself used holy anointing oil, and you can't make holy anointing oil without calamus, which is an old Hebrew name for cannabis. It's It's been found, and it was known as calamus. I can't pronounce that damn word. But cannabis has had so many different names. Each country has given it a new name. So it should be called the plant of many names, because that's what it is. It's a plant of many names. Mary Jane, God, there's so many. You guys could most probably put them in the chat, and we'll come up. I bet you it'd be non-stop. We'll get a new name every single line, and it's had so many names, but you truly can't make it. It's been found in Egyptian tombs. It's been found in Sumerian tombs. It's been found over 12,000 years old. 12,000 years old cannabis has been found. So it's been used for a very, very long time. Problem is, in 1920 or 1918, there was an American, I don't know whether it was president or it was very high up in the American government, and he made paper. He had his finger in oil, and he didn't want to lose. He saw what hemp was doing to his business. So he knew that the Mexicans had a different name for it. So what he did, he used that name, and he used the example of Mexicans partying, which we know these days is just, they don't need cannabis to party the way Mexicans party, because if you've ever seen Mexicans party, man, they party. I've known a few over the years. And man, they can put me under the table. As I say, the dude I know drunk me under the table many a time, and I can drink, or used to be able to drink. And the whole point of it is that it doesn't affect you. Like, you might have to sit there and get, oh yeah, okay, well, you get the stone feeling ones, depending on the strain that is used to make the medical cannabis, will give each one a different effect. The cannabis can be used for epilepsy, and I know a lot of epileptics that use CBD and have been using it for many years. I knew a bloke when I was 15. He used to make his own oil, put it into a capsule and swallow it. That's back in the days when they used acetone to break it down. And because he hated the taste of it, because it still always had the acetone taste in it. G'day, loyalty. And the thing is, when he took it, he was pain-free. 100% pain-free. And every cannabis smoker out there will vouch for it right now. Will sit there and say, yep, that's fucking true. And if you believe that everything I'm saying is true about cannabis, and that it doesn't make you loopy. It makes you loopy if you get the wrong strain. Yet those strains are helpful. Like, there are strains out there. One could be for, actually, let's go to my little classroom and let's school the world on cannabis. If I can find that where my mouse is on the screen. There we go. And we'll school the world. How about that? So what we're going to type in, we're going to type in cannabis. They're going to type in, not going to play any videos, folks. And as you can see, people have been protesting it for years. See, that little bottle there that he's got, that's cannabis oil. You got Cannabis Fact Sheet, we'll open that one up. Cannabis Alcohol and Drug Foundation, yeah, we'll open all of them up. Cannabis Wikipedia, Cannabis What Is It, Cannabis Effects, Withdrawals. What the fuck are they talking about, withdrawals? There's no such thing on cannabis. The only time there would be a withdrawal of cannabis if that cannabis was laced. What's being laced? Laced is when another drug has been placed into it. And trust me, they can be placed into it. This is why everybody around the world should have the legal right to manufacture their own medical cannabis. That way they know exactly what goes into their medical cannabis, because it can be made with just simple water, for God's sake. There's so many different things that you can use. Like I'm watching these people use butane. I'm thinking, shit, you only need friggin' water. Like I've known about half these processes all my life. And the point is, see, there we go, cannabis, marijuana. It's just a different name for it. It's the same plant. Cannabis. What strains are best for certain conditions? There's that much research out there being gathered by us, the users of cannabis, over the years. We've most probably got a mental database out there will tell you there's so many people out there to this day, and they're old smokers, could say, okay, well, indica, this brand, this one, bang one, that will actually get rid of you, this sort of pain. But if you've got this sort of pain, you actually need to go for maybe one with this sativa in it and this strain here. It's got a little bit more THC, but it's got a lot of CBD in it, and you use that. See, my oil was made from a plant. I'm pretty sure I even know which plant it was made from because I've done a fair bit of research over the last few months. And because the levels of the THC in it told me what strain it was, I was able to track it down because of the 12 milligram and this. So I just worked on a 12% to a 20% ratio, and I found the strain in a heartbeat. I'm not going to mention it because it's most probably a guarded secret for the company that manufactures my medicine. But the whole point is, those of you out there that have used cannabis, you know that it doesn't turn you into a raving lunatic. It might turn a young idiot into a raving idiot because he never tried anything hard, like hard in his life, and but it'd be better than bloody going and sneaking their dad's alcohol, because their dad's alcohol would kill them. Cannabis is just going, oh fuck man, what just happened to me? Because they wouldn't know what hit them, because they've never used it before. And this is a problem, yes, and I know this is a problem that everybody worries about. But if you're a good parent, you don't have to worry about it, because let's just say my father made sure we never touched it. We never went near that bowl. We knew it was off limits. You touch that bowl, you get your ass kicked. And yet today we can't get access to it, because back as I was growing up, I watched that bowl that was freely once sat in the table. Even if friggin' a copper walked in the door, it was still there. I once actually remember a copper walking in the door. Dad had, Mum had forgot to stick it away, and it was sitting on the desk. The copper just looked at it and walked out the fucking door. But that's the 60s. Then in the 70s it started getting tough. In the 80s it started getting tougher. In the 90s it got really tough. Around about 96 I think was the real crackdown. And but what has it done? Nothing. The crackdown did nothing. Everybody still smoked. I didn't, because I was a hunter, and so I wanted to be licensed, and so I stayed away from it. But the thing is, I know I need it. I've always known I needed it, because when I was a smoker, I never once went down and got those. It was only when I couldn't get it that I had to go and see the doctor and get endone. Oh no, what were they called? Percodone, I think it was, Percodone or something like that, or Percodone or something like that. Yeah, it was weird. It had a weird name. And they were 10 milligram tablets back in those days. I was actually on more when they first put me on them than I am on now. Why I'm on less now? I'm still in the same amount of pain. Well, every 3 months I withdraw off them. That's how I get off them. But if I was on cannabis and was allowed and could afford cannabis, i.e. it should be on PBS, Mr. Hunt, if it was on PBS and I could get it, I would not have to worry about it. Now, when it comes to driving laws, what should be done in regard to driving? Yep. The whole thing is, with driving, they need to work out new tests. And as you can see by me, I'm using a THC product and I'm quite sensible. Still got all the clues in my head. I know what's going on. In fact, I want to go and grab a paintbrush and paint. The artistic side of me has just come out again. Even though my mum has passed away. But what I want to do is I want to get the message out there to the doctors that it's not going to hurt you to prescribe it, for God's sake. This drug really works. Right, I watched a video today where it was what happens when a medical clinical trial goes wrong. It near killed everything. I haven't finished watching the video yet. I can't play it because it's someone else's video, but it's about these guys who went in for a medical trial and everything like that. Well, guess what, world? We've done the medical trial for the world. It's already been done. The medical trial of cannabis has been done by, and recently redone by, Americans and all the other countries that it's been legalised in. All the medical research out there is done. It's not going to kill us. And the great thing about legalising medical marijuana and legalising it for recreation and letting them make sure that they can supply themselves, you remove the drug dealer from the equation. That drug dealer can no longer lace those same cannabis plants that he's done for years with LSD and other dangerous drugs, even ice. Because all they've got to do is get that little bit into the bud. Once it's into the bud, they get the taste. This is what they're getting addicted to out there. It's not cannabis. I have used cannabis since the age of 15. Yes, I'd normally say yes, Mum, but Mum passed away. No, sorry, Mum. But, yeah, since I was 15, I smoked. Got access to it, not through Mum and Dad, but a couple of mates. I tried it. That's how I know that a kid's going to get flattened on their ass the first time I try it, because the first time I tried it, when I was 15, it flattened me down on my ass. My body wasn't used to it, wasn't ready for it, and I just sat there and went, what's going on? I even remember the words, what's going on? Because, yeah, but that same medical cannabis, if it's the right strain, i.e. CBD high, that same strain of medical cannabis can cure children with massive epileptic fits. Do you know there's even a strain of marijuana out there called Charlotte's Web? It's named after a little girl who took massive epileptic fits. Look it up. Go and Google it, folks. Charlotte's Web cannabis. And it tells you the story. YouTube videos on it. You even get to see the poor little girl. This is a miracle drug. This is the tree of life. I'm telling you now, this is the tree of life. If you look and you look hard within yourself, you will see that this truly is the tree of life. This is what God put on the face of this earth to heal people. Now I'm just going to go to this screen for a little bit. Now, as you can see here, what you're looking at here is a Sumerian picture behind it. And it's where, now go out and study Sumerian pictures and their tree of life. Count the leaves on it, for God's sake. Go and count the leaves on it. Because if you're not counting the leaves on it, you're an idiot. It's the exact same amount of leaves. The buds, the exact same way that cannabis buds form. Do you know, I believe the Sumerians brought it here. The Sumerians used cannabis. It was used for medical purposes, and I bet you 10 to 1 they used it for recreational purposes. Now, yeah, everybody out there, I don't care whether you're 18 or 80, think about this. Would you sooner your family become raving drunks, or would you see them on the couch, sitting down, having a bit of a giggle every now and then? Yeah, you do giggle every now and then if you're a recreational user and you're not in a shitload of pain. Yeah, you might have a giggle. That euphoric effect gets a bit stronger because the cannabis has got nothing to do, so it just gives you that euphoric effect. And you get a little bit giggly and you have a bit more fun. That's a good thing I like about cannabis. You tend to have more fun with cannabis than you do with alcohol. Alcohol, most people get out there, hey mate, you want to fucking fight? You don't see that with cannabis. Yeah, hey dude, how you going? You smile at each other with cannabis. You don't ever see a fucking blue. The only time you see a blue is in the current drug world, where they're lacing it with dangerous drugs and so that people get addicted to it. That's the real addiction. It's not the cannabis, it's what they're putting in it. And if you still think that it's cannabis, you're an idiot. Because any person that has smoked homegrown of other people's and everything like that, there's a totally different high than some of the stuff you buy on the street today. Totally different. And as a person that comes from the 60s, yeah mate, I can tell you now, homegrown, sweet taste. Very sweet taste. I still remember it to this day. Because I'll tell you now, when I tasted that homegrown, I never wanted to go back. But things toughened up as the years went by. And unfortunately, you've got to do what you've got to do to survive. You sit back and you don't speak up. And unfortunately, I've sat back for too many years. Well, not anymore. Not anymore. I'm not going to sit back. I know my mum wouldn't want me to sit back. My mum would want me to go on and win this battle, because my mum knows what I'm like. My mum supported me so much when I took Parliament House on an ice cream truck. So I had to ring her every day to update her. It was fun. It was most probably the most contact I'd had with mum for so many years, because mum always knew I went walkabout. I've always been the type of bloke that done his walkabouts, and because I don't need family when I'm on a walkabout, I go and learn and get myself together. I reckon I'm still on the walkabout actually, and I don't think I've finished it yet. I'll know when it's finished. But the whole point of it is that I've been trying for so long to get access to medical cannabis. It's been available since 2016, yet I've never been able to access it. Here I am. Doctors give me this dangerous drug, yet they won't prescribe me a non-dangerous drug. Can you work that one out? That is so stupid. And it really is. So if you're an old-time doctor that's never smoked, or you're the goody two-shoes doctor, which unfortunately I think my doctor was that goody two-shoes. I think she sort of still is today, but she's a great doctor. Fucking brilliant doctor. Saved my life. So, if she hadn't called me, I wouldn't have known that I was dying. So she found that I was dying and she got me in. And thank you, Loyalty. I've been trying to avoid answering those. It's pretty hard, yeah. It's pretty hard. The point of it is that when you're on medical cannabis, you're not a threat. You're not jumping around and ripping up shit. If anything, you want to sit down and say, man, who wants to play a game? God, I'd love to sit down with people and play a game right now, mate. I'm thinking about Monopoly. It's one of the Mandela effects. Oh yeah, those of you who don't know, the Mandela effect was on it was on a TV show. It was one of the main subjects. Everybody chose it. Everybody knows about the Mandela effect. Once upon a time they didn't know. I remember 12 months ago when I got here. You talk about the Mandela. Oh, what's the Mandela? Oh yeah, I know about it. Well, no, what's the Mandela effect? But now, fuck, people know the answers in competitions, mate. That was so funny. But the point of it is that medical cannabis is sorely needed by many people. You have epileptic children And now I know a doctor that unfortunately was arrested and charged for supplying I forget what the charge was, but why? The drug works. It's been proven with Charlotte that it does cure epilepsy. It proves that it works. Where's your research? Here, right in front of you. Why don't you, if you don't have the medical research, why don't you go and get 1,000 stoners and get them stoned and ask them? Do cognitive tests, this is what the police should be doing, because we've just got to test you, and if it's in your blood you get fined even though you had it 10 days ago. Oh, if it's in your blood you go to court. If it's in your blood you go to court. You only need a 4 or 5. It's like alcohol. After 4 or 5 hours the main effect is worn off. But the good thing about cannabis is after 4 or 5 hours it's worn off. It's gone. Any copper out there that has smoked, and there's many of you out there that have, I know there is, and you know for a fact that it only lasts for 4 or 5 hours at the most. But if you found somebody that was off their tits, you could quite easily test it. How do you test them? Give them a fine motor skill with their hands. No one can do that one. Give them one, you know those puzzles? You buy them all the time. Like, I'm an expert at those things, but I tried to do one 20 minutes ago. I couldn't do it. And yet I've solved this thing 1,000 times. Those little tricky puzzles, the easy ones too. And it was the easy one that I failed. Because it does affect you a little bit in your mind. So yeah, I do believe that we shouldn't drive our cars. If we have smoked, which, trust me, you don't want to smoke, guys. Honestly, you don't need to. A couple of drops, that's it. Cannabis oil should be what is sold, how it's sold. It should be how it's made. But people should have the right to make their own. I.e., you only need olive oil, folks, to make it. You don't need to put it in alcohol, you need olive oil. Olive oil will do the same job. Water will do the same job. So people around the world need that right so that they can access the tree of life, because it's been freely given to the world. The tree of life has been freely given to the world. It grows anywhere. There's different strains of it, and it does different things. So if a person's got rheumatism and one strain helps rheumatism, like, let them organise to grow that bit for the pain, that one for the thing. And yeah, just do that. It'd be so simple. And trust me, kids, if you control it, it's easy to do. If my mum and dad can do it, fuck, anybody can do it. My mum and dad, that's it. They were so dysfunctional it was beyond a fucking joke, but with no communication. I think mum eventually hated, well, I know she eventually hated my dad for being part Aboriginal, but that was pretty much, yeah, my life. That's my life. It happened. That's how it happened. G'day, Michelle. How are you, darling? Holding up, yeah, tough. Yeah, it's tough. But that's why one of the reasons I'm making the video. I'm actually sort of doing this in honour of my mum, because I know my mum would have loved to see this video and everything. And yeah, she was pro. Yeah, she was a good old girl, my mum. And she's a hippie, so yeah, that's enough. That's all I need to say. She's the best mum you'll ever know. She's everybody's best friend. But it doesn't make you a raving lunatic. It doesn't. Like, if you're going by the video I made the other day, I was actually stone cold sober the other day. That was to show that parents and teachers that they could come up with tantrums. They could come up with this problem. They could come up with that problem. That was just my way of showing people. I plan everything I do. And yet here now, I'm talking, yeah, I'm not swearing, I've been really doing the goody two-shoes. People, well, my friends would say, what have you been a goody two-shoes for? Because normally I swear me fucking head off. I do swear, and I'd most probably, yeah, well, that was deep with myself, by the way. But the thing is, it doesn't kill people like the drug that the government gives me for free. But I do admit the drug they give me for free works, and it works bloody well. The problem is it's killing me. It's not meant to be in our system. Cannabis is natural. We have receptors in our body that only talk to cannabis. It only talks to one substance, cannabis. So, and it's called the cannabinoid system. So we are meant to use cannabis. We are meant to use it. And I can tell you why, because you think about it, okay, we've got bulimics out there. Trust me, bulimics cannot stay bulimic if they have access to cannabis. Certain strains, you need the right strains. You'd need a higher CBD, lower, not too low. You'd still need a reasonable amount of THC. This one I know about with anorexics. Because the strain that my friend's mother, and don't worry, they come from America, used to actually give her daughter, it was higher in the CBD, not as high as the one I've got, but it wasn't much higher than the THC, but it was still higher, and for some unknown reason that dose made her so munch out. And the strain must have been that typical strain. She wasn't stupid, she just wanted to eat. And you reminded me of that today, Sway. It sort of, when you said that. So, but the whole thing, oh no, that was, sorry, hang on, sorry, I'm getting everybody mixed up. I've got to stop saying names. But the whole point is that, now I need to put my glasses, oh, there's my glasses, been on my neck. Yeah, no, I don't have to be, no, I do that even when I'm not. Okay, yeah, someone else had, oh, anorexic, yeah. So, but she reminded me of it. And should look up Canadian laws they implement here when they legalised MJ. Yeah, I am actually looking it up. There's so many web pages out there, guys. There truly are. If you know one of the things, one of the pages, please, Michelle, please throw it into the chat. It'd be greatly appreciated. And but like, have I once jumped into a raving rant like I was in my last stream? But that last stream, I've got to admit I was a little bit overboard in that last stream. I just found out my mum had died at midstream, and it sort of, I was on a break, and yeah, I found out my mum had passed. It was a bit hard. So the beginning of the video, there was a lot of acting in the beginning of the video. By the end of the video, there was pretty much no acting. And I had, my world had just been shattered. So I went from being someone that was energetic to someone that was in mourning. And I think that reflected in that video. But the thing is, I'm always sensible. I just like to swear. It's my niche on YouTube. But in this video, as I said, like, I want researchers to use it. I want them to see that while I take, and I told you I was going to take 2 drops every time I need it for pain, because of the pain's back. So I'm just measuring out 2 drops. For the medical researchers of you out there, I have now taken 6 drops. I have been streaming for an hour. So it's taken me 6 drops in an hour. No, actually, no, 3 hours, because I've got to remember I had the 2 drops. So that's 6 drops over 4 hours. And I'm still in pain. As I said, it most probably will take me anywhere from 8 to 10 drops. So for the doctors out there, this is how you prescribe medical cannabis. They can't overdose on it. Trust me, you don't need to overdose on it, because the moment you hit that dose, and if you notice that I've been taking breaks in between taking the medical cannabis. So I've just had little stops and everything like that. And when I do get that euphoric high, I'm actually going to tell you how many drops it took to get me there. Because that euphoric high that you call a high to me is pain relief. It means I've got no more pain, because the moment I get the euphoria, I know the pain's gone. And the only reason I get euphoria is because the pain is gone. And I'm cheering to myself, no more pain. And I don't have to go and take those deadly tablets that are killing me. But I will tell you this much, it tastes like shit. For God's sake, to those of you that make the medical cannabis, use fucking olive oil or coconut. Yeah. Coconut. Okay. Tough word to say. I've always had a problem with it. When I was young, I actually used to make bongs out of coconuts. Coconuts. And used to watch it run around your neck. I'd stuck the plastic tube under it and it made it so that the smoke ran around your neck before you got it. And it went back into the water, so it was going through the water twice, filtering it, letting the water filter it before you got it. And the problem was, when you do that, you're actually throwing away most of the medicine. You didn't know that, did you, about smoking with a bong? But so you're sucking all that through, and all those beautiful little chemicals that you need to take away your pain are going in that water, and you're throwing it away. And you wouldn't want to drink it because it tastes like shit. This is why you're better off using cannabis oils, and they're not fucking your lungs up. You're not coughing. I was talking to a friend, and I'm running out because he knew Mum. And he's going, and he was coughing his guts up. I knew exactly what he was doing. But have I coughed once, except for faking it? No. Not ruining my lungs. Not to the level where still haven't got pain, because I've got pain. My knee is still screaming out. My back is still screaming out. My tailbone's screaming out. My wrist is almost gone. The pain in my wrist is almost gone. I feel overall, I'd say I feel like I've had a bad day. Not screaming in pain like I was a few hours ago, but I feel like I've just got home and I've worked my guts up and sat down and turned around and oh fuck, rest. But when you're at this stage, it's like, yeah, rest, because you're alert. It actually makes you alert. And good night, loyalty. Yeah. Good night. And the thing is, it's sort of I haven't been reading the chat, loyalty, sorry. I am going to open the chat room up to everybody. And don't worry, I'm not going to give you a hard time about calling in. That was actually all for the show, and trying to show people what teachers could do, what the children could do, and why they need to talk to School of the Air so they can learn. Because our children can, by the way, go to school, even though they're stuck at home with you, which is where they're safer, by the way, and where you're safer, because they're not out hugging everybody. Or they're not out there at school this week running around saying, oh, I don't care about the coronavirus. I saw that video and I thought, fuck, what an idiot. Sorry, I couldn't call him anything else. And, yeah, and it does taste like shit, trust me. But you only need 2 drops. It's gone in a few minutes. The taste is gone. Right. Have a piece of carrot. It's gone. And you don't munch out on this stuff like you do on certain strains. They've managed to find one that you don't munch out too much on. But it still makes you think oh, it's a YouTube video. Oh, damn, I'll have to watch that one later, but I'll get to it. I'll open it up in a new tab, but I won't watch it yet. Unless I'm really, really quick with the... No, I can't risk playing it. Can't risk playing it because I get anything. But as I said, like, there it is. What's on the screen now, those little flower petals that you can see there on the screen, they are cannabis. I guarantee you that's what they are. They're cannabis. And it'd be indica. Looking at the leaf, it'd be more indica. Someone said, oh no, that's a sativa leaf, mate. But the indica, from what I've been learning over the last few weeks, that's what they call indica. The fatter leaf. Sativas are the longer leaf, thin. But the indica is a fat leaf. That's what it is. That's a tree of life. I'm telling you now, it's a tree of life. And so now anybody in this chat room, if you're reading the chat, you've only got to ask my subscribers. I'm actually not the same Bluebeard that I normally am when I'm online. Okay, why? Because I'm using medical cannabis at the moment. Would you guys say I'm more subdued or less vocal? What would you say, Michelle? Loyalty? What do you reckon? Honey Ann? No, I can read you. I can read it. You're not blocked. Honey Ann, you're not blocked. Sorry, I have only just started looking at the screen, but those of you out there that know me know that, yeah, I'm more boisterous. And like loud would be one word. Very loud would be another word. Yeah. Yeah, more chilled, BB. Yeah, thank you. And that's what cannabis does. All cannabis does, it quietens you down. It's okay, now the best way to describe cannabis, okay, if you manage to find a good painkilling strain, now they could have actually used a different strain for their medicine. Trust me, there's a lot better out there. I had them in Canberra when I was in Canberra. I actually know what strains they came from, and they were good. And they killed my pain. I was able to get my endone down, all the way down. Got my panadine forte down at the same time, back up to normal. But I've managed, since I've been taking the medication, my endone, I've taken 3 in a few days, man. For me, that's a fucking record. That's instead of 8 a day. Because that's what I was taking at one stage. I was taking 8 a day. I was in so much pain last year, I was taking 8 endone a day. And on top of that, I could have taken 8 panadine forte through the day. I pretty much was dying, but great deal of pain. But at the moment, here I am, I just feel like I've had a hard day at work. And that's truly what I feel like, just had a hard day. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I got the infection in. Oh, okay, no worries, yeah. Yeah, there's a definite reason why there's a difference in my voice, Michelle. But that's about all it's done to me. It's changed my language speak. Changed the way I talk to my subscribers. Made the way I talk to my friends a lot different as well. I'm more mellow. I'm not swearing. And ask anybody, believe he swears like a fucking Trojan. That's an example of what I swear like. But most of the video I've been sitting here down just chatting to you nice and calmly. It doesn't make you a raving idiot. Like, I'm not sitting down. If I was on endone, man, I'd be, what's on TV? That's why I only take them at night, so they can help me. By the time it gets to about midnight, I've managed to have a decent enough dose to start sleeping, and then I take another dose in the middle of the night to carry me through till 6 o'clock in the morning at least. Most days I'm up by 6. And it leaves you with, dying kidneys, dying liver, dying spleen. You're dying because of those dying organs. Yet cannabis has got the opposite effect. It heals organs, man. So many people have reported cancers dying, the body healing after the cancers. And yet doctors aren't prescribing this drug. It's ridiculous. Cannabis should be legal globally. Cannabis should be legally everywhere on the face of this fucking planet. And all the Americans say, oh, it's legal here, but it's actually not. Might be legal in your state, but it's not federally legal. This needs to be made federally legal in every single country. Every single country. And let people that have sick children with massive epileptic problems or autism. I've got a mate, his kid is autistic, but he's handling it so well now. Why? Because he's on the medical, he's actually of legal age in Australia. And his parents got him to a doctor that did prescribe. He's going great. Made his schoolwork has improved. He's a little bit older than most. He's pretty much like me. He gets sent to a college. And but it's amazing to see the difference that it did for him. It truly is. But the problem is not everybody can get access to it. And as I said, I've been using it the whole time I've been online. And I'm getting, and I can guarantee you, I'm guaranteeing it to anybody out there. Well, the one I've got, right, because it's got both the THC and everything in it, it gives the same effect that I got when I smoked it. The exact same feeling. There's no difference. It's a lot healthier for you too. Don't vape it, you only drop it. And so you don't have to go and kill your lungs to kill your pain. And your doctor should be prescribing this to you. Your GP has the legal right. And what I'm going to do, while this screen is up, I'm still trying to find this current form that they use for prescription of medical cannabis. So, TGA, and yes, I'm going quiet every now and then. Why? Because you're just listening to, well, some of you are saying, oh, he's just high. Well, yeah, okay, my body is high, but I'm not, because I'm actually trying to kill pain. And that's all it's doing for me, is killing the pain. I haven't changed, man. Okay, I'm more mellow, yes, and that is an effect of cannabis. This is a strain that comes from one of the ones that make you mellow. They calm you down. This is why they use these drugs. See, it can be used in mental health, it can be used in physical disability, it can be used across the spectrum. And I've noticed something since I've been on this CB, the high CBD one, that I've got a problem in my right eye, but that problem seems to be disappearing. I've been using my glasses less and less over the last few days. My sugar levels, or today they're a bit out because, like, I've got a damn infection in my foot. They're always out when you've got an infection. And, but I thought this was the only way that I could actually show people, is actually by going live while I was using medical cannabis. And people need, see, the problem is the more people ask their GP, if you are on endone, if the doctor has you on endone, straight up, you are entitled to get medical cannabis. If the doctor has you on panadine forte, you are entitled to get medical cannabis to get you off those drugs. If you want off those drugs, then it will help you off those drugs. Trust me, you don't need them. If you are on the stuff that I'm on, which is a mixture of the CBD and the THC, you don't need it. You don't need those drugs. Why? Because your pain is gone. But it just takes all of us are different. Some of us have to take 8 to 10 drops. I'm still at 6, but I'm still in pain. My back still hurts and my neck still hurts. And my knee still hurts. But the wrist pain, since I've taken those last 2 drops, is actually gone. So it's easy to meter it out. And the problem, this is, I think, why doctors are scared of it. But the thing is, you can't OD on it. You cannot OD. There is no physical way you can OD on, like all you do on pot when you get OD on it, or try to OD, so many people have, that you just go, that's when you laugh, because you're too high. And some people have pushed themselves to those limits over the years. But all you do is go, you laugh because everything's funny to you. That's why you're laughing, for no other reason. Because when you get to that level, you just constantly because you think about everything funny. Why? Because, well, what else could it be? The tree of life is trying to make you feel happy. So it does. It makes you feel happy. But you're not OD. You're not dead. You can't die on it. No one to this day has died on it. If they've been using, they haven't died from the physical effects of smoking, or maybe they might have died of lung cancer from smoking, but if you take oil, you're not going to die of lung cancer. You might have too much olive oil in your system every now and then, or too much. So they've got to actually, and one thing too, they're going to have to work out which one of these oils does not contribute to cholesterol. I know olive oil is great. That's why I would have preferred them use olive oil, because I know it's not going to hurt my blood system and put plaque in my blood system. So actually the whole world have been deceived about Mary Jane. According to the Bible, cannabis is a drug and makes you high, and one can have a clear, sober mind while high. Yeah, oh yeah, shit yeah. That's exactly right. That is exactly right. The thing about health, cannabis is one of the most healthiest plants there is. And it's also one of the most reusable plant there is. Like, what everybody should be doing, right? If once it's legal, right? If we can ever get it globally legal, which it should be. When it's globally legal, those green recycling bins, we should have a separate one, or market saying containing hemp, so that they know that if they see a bin with the hemp sign on it, they don't take it, and they send a different truck to come and collect it. Then they collect all that hemp that everybody's just thrown away because they've actually just harvested their crop. Or they could take it down to the recycling centre or a paper recycling centre and say, here's my contribution to the next load of paper. Just give them the hemp stalks and reuse it. Because that's what you can do with hemp. You can do so much with hemp. Because, oh, that's right, that's what cannabis is. That's what marijuana is. They're all different things, but they're the same thing. They're just different names from different countries. Cannabis. Not honey. Cannabis is cannabis. It just was a different name for it back in that time period. And it's so easy to go out there and look for the different names of cannabis. Anybody can go out there and look at the different names of cannabis. So when you look them up, you just get so many different names. And I mean, there are so many different names for cannabis. Calamus. I can't say that word. I'm only just getting used to calamus. Calamus is the old Hebrew name for cannabis. And they're tongue twisters when you try and say them together. Now, I'm about to take 8 drops. Hopefully this will be the last. Well, it's got a little bit of a woody taste to it, but that's, I believe, is the plant. But I'm not coughing my guts up from having a smoke and having to put a bit of mix in it to last it go longer. Why? Because I just consumed my cannabis. Because when it's prescribed to me, it's prescribed to me in oil. I put a couple of drops on my tongue. I'm hoping that I don't have to get up to 10 because I'm going to find a way to hold back if I can. But I'm not high. I'm not euphoric yet. I know when I'm euphoric, that's the sign that the pain is finally going and it almost is gone or is gone. And you just get that feeling of total relief in your body. It's like, it happens to everybody every day. Oh God, the day is over, I'm going home. That sense of relief. That's the only sense of relief that I get, is that same feeling where it's over, the pain's gone, I can finally go and get some sleep, because I guarantee you, the moment I get to that stage, I'm going to say goodnight to everybody and I'm going to go to bed, because I've been waiting for that to kick in so that I can go to bed. But that's all I took was 8 little drops. And that's how you prescribe medical cannabis. You can't OD on it because everybody's system is different. Fat people need more than maybe need more, yet the skinny person might need more. They might be acclimatised to cannabis. They've always smoked all their life. And one of my friends said, it's in a smoke, it's sort of easier, but you can't get it on as a smoke for medical cannabis. You don't want it as a smoke, trust me. You don't want to cough your lungs up. And trust me, that's the one I was talking about, cough all over the fucking place. Oh, and if you share your billy through this crisis, you're a fucking idiot. So I do swear. But now, I'm at the stage where I'm extremely creative. I want to create. I just love to have a paint. I've just got that feeling I'd love to have the paintbrush in my hand. And I'd like to be doing something with that. Oh, I should get the vibe out. I've got those feelings in my body. That's just how I'm feeling at the moment. I'm going through that stage in the mind where the mind is now not worrying about pain as much, and I can start thinking about these things. Because I can guarantee you, pain holds back creativity. And being a master artist, that's a bit of a murderer to me. It means I can't get my work done. So, but now I'm thinking about what I could do, what I could paint, how I could go about painting it. Oh, where is all my paint? And I've just had that. Oh, where is all my paint? And now I've got to think about my paintbrushes, because if I've just remembered where the paint was, I know exactly where the easel was, because I actually got that out last night when I was on the cannabis. I'm only taking it at night, so I can sleep. It's the only time I'm taking it. Unless I'm in pain through the day. I'm at home, I'm not driving now, so I can now take it through the day whilst I'm quarantined. But I actually want to do some stuff here at home, but I know tomorrow I'm actually not doing painting. I've actually got to finish doing the pantry, so then I can actually finally get my laundry back, because the laundry is going to be the slash pantry. I've got to finish putting the fake wall up, so that because if I don't put a fake wall, it's not actually a fake wall, it is a real wall. It's attached to the ceiling the same way and to the floor the same way. But the reason why they call it a fake wall is because there is actually a brick wall there. But the problem is, with the brick wall, you screw into it and the cupboards actually fall off the bloody render. So I've got to put a timber wall up, extends and taps out, run some plumbing, run the hot water plumbing up to where the hot water service is going, and everything, because I've already run it up to the kitchen, so the kitchen will finally have hot water. And then the bathroom will actually no longer be the bathroom. The bathroom's going to be the laundry, and the sunroom's going to be the bathroom. Got this beautiful, those big spas, 28 jet spa, dead set. Got a 28 jet spa, It's the one where you've got one person sits at one end, you got the other person sits at the other end, and their feet are up there so you can play with your feet. That kind of spa. Yeah, beautiful spa. Got it for what was it, $800. It was like $5,000. Why did I get it for $800? Because it had a small scratch in the very, very tiny little scratch in the base. Because some kid must have jumped in it and scratched it. That was it. But that's what happens to all bars and spas over the years. You get scrapes and scratches. I thought, fuck, well, it's worth this amount of money. They were selling it for $800. I said, oh, do I get the pump with it? They said, yeah. And I said, well, do I get all the accessories? And they said, yes. So I took it. $800. Who's going to whinge? So I had to do that. I had to convert the sunroom into a bathroom and the bathroom into the laundry toilet and the old laundry, because the rain always used to come into that, and the corner of the room had sunk a little bit with liquefaction in the last big storm in '07. So I had to brick it up to support it. So I thought, well, shit, I may as well turn it into a pantry now. No one's ever going to walk in and out that door anymore. It's too unsafe. So I propped it up and put jacks underneath it and everything like that, and done all that sort of stuff. And so I've got to finish all that. So I've got stuff to do while I'm here in quarantine. So here I am. This is what I mean. I'm thinking about shit. Like, I'm not super high or anything like that. Medical cannabis doesn't do that to you. And as I said, if you're new in the room, by the way, I'm actually presenting my video normally as whilst I'm stoned and giving medical reports to doctors and everything that reckon this is not beneficial to their customers. And if my GP was watching this video, which she's going to get a link to it, trust me, I'm going to make sure she gets a link to it, and so she watches it, and hopefully she'll come around and she'll start prescribing it instead of me having to go to another doctor to actually get the medical cannabis. And but it's easy. You can actually see, like, she would tell you in a heartbeat. If she was watching me now or was in this room, she'd say, wow, you're a totally different person, Tony. Like, I saw you this morning and you were barely walking, you're in agony, and look at you now. And, like, unfortunately my mum passed away yesterday and I'm still sad about it. I'm not smiling, but she'd say, wow, you look so healthy, you're moving around. Yet I normally, when I get to see her, I'm like in pain because I couldn't take my endone before I drove, so I'm in pain by the time I get to my GP. That will always still be the case, unfortunately, because I'll always have to wait and wait until I'm sober or drivable. And trust me, it's 5 hours. It's no more. 5 hours, you're drivable. And that's providing. And the thing is, if you have, this is why when you test for it, you should do a cognitive test. Give them one of those bloody hard little puzzles, or one of the easy ones. Trust me, even the easy ones are hard to solve when you're, like, if you're too high. And you can get to that stage even on this. That's when you know you actually don't need to take any more. Because if you've gotten to that stage, shit, okay, tomorrow I'm only taking 9. If you've taken 10 and you get to that stage where you're almost giggling, then you say, okay, tomorrow, no, I'm only taking 9. So what you've done, you're actually found your dosage. And once you find that dosage, it doesn't change. Trust me, it doesn't change. Since I've been on it, that dosage it took me to that dose, which is 8, 9, 10. Some days, depending on the level of pain, I may need 10, but I don't go beyond 10. And that's because the cannabis that treats you for that condition is always going to be the same, as long as you get that same strain, that same milligram, that same dosage. That's going to be the same, so you're going to get the same effect out of it every single time. You will know your dose, and it's only the patient will know the dose. And that's as easy as it is. You just, a couple of drops here, a couple of drops down the road, a couple of drops down the road, and you wait, and you need to put a little bit of time in between them. Yes, you may still be in pain. Let's just say I know that if I'm in screaming pain, I take 4 drops straight up. and then it'll just give me that bit instant oomph to get me through as I'm slowly dosing. And I still will slowly dose, because not every day do you need to take all of that dose. But I guarantee you won't need to go above it. Once you've found that, the medium, that dose, i.e. the 9 to 10. Well, my medium between that, because it's 8, 9 or 10, would be the 9. Well, I am good at math, but not today. It may affect some of your skills, i.e. your mathematical. Yes, it does actually affect mathematical skills. But it may affect them to the stage where you're either better at it or you're not. See, when I've ever used cannabis, I've always gone, the artistic side of my brain has taken over. When I'm not using it, the mathematical side takes over, and then I'm pretty good at math. As to say, I don't. I'm one of the few at college that do not have a calculator. I don't even take it to tech with me. Don't need it. My calculator's in my brain. I was actually taught how to do the equations, and we should go back to that way. By the way, we need to start teaching the kid the equations, because if you don't learn those equations, kids, you're never going to get through life. You need them in most fields, including the manufacture of cannabis. There's a lot of formulas you've got to go through, apparently. Man, they are so, like the ones out there that are allowed to manufacture their own medical marijuana. It's amazing the stuff these guys know. It's why? Because they've been doing it for years illegally, and now they can finally do it legally. But it doesn't make you a raving lunatic. It might make a fool a bit more foolish, because the fool is always more foolish no matter what you put into them, whether you put alcohol, cannabis, anything. You put it into a fool, you're always going to get a bigger fool. We used to have a saying in the nightclub industry, how do you make an instant idiot? Just add alcohol. And you look at somebody on alcohol and you look at somebody on cannabis. Maybe you should do a study like that as well. Get one drunk guy, one guy on cannabis. Put them together. And I guarantee you, it's going to be you're going to go with the cannabis first go every go. You're going to say, okay, no, cannabis should be the one that's legal, not alcohol. Alcohols. But thanks Michelle. Yeah. And but the whole thing is, like, medical cannabis should actually be legal, folks. It really truly should. Now, there is another video on my Cannabis Protester website called Vote With Your Like. Please go to that video. Vote or dislike on it. I want to see the true numbers of people like me. And so what you need to do, well, there you go. 8 drops. 8 drops on pain-free. That feeling, just my body just telling me no more pain. It's happened. The shoulder pain's gone, the neck pain's gone. Oh, maybe not 100% gone, a little bit still on the wrist, but not much. And that's only because I'm holding my wrist the way that I am. That's better. Now I'm pain free. There's my wrist leaning up against the table. Like I'm not a raving lunatic. Not jumping out of my seat, not jumping out of windows, not raping anybody. I'm not doing anything like that. It was a 1920 video, for fuck's sake. Wake up and legalise cannabis. It is a healthy drug. It has been used for thousands upon thousands of recorded history years. That's only recorded history. How many years was it used before that? Think about it. How many years before that was it used? We can only go back 12,000 years. So how many years prior to that was it used? It's been used for so long, folks, we've forgotten. It's had so many different names. It's been used in so many different ways. The Anunnaki, the proof of the Anunnaki is right in front of you, right behind that sign. You can see, oh, that's right, that's the 420 protest, folks. Sorry, I forgot to mention that, April 20, 420 in the park, Parliament House, down in Sydney as well, down in Melbourne, and Parliament House, Tasmania as well. So Victoria Park, Sydney, Parramatta Road, Broadway, Flagstaff Gardens, Melbourne, Victoria, Parliament House, Hobart, Tasmania, and Parliament House, Australian Capital Territory on April 20, 420 in the park. 3:20 p.m. to 7:20 p.m. April 20th. That's for Canberra. So you just have to ask yourself, folks, should cannabis, 10 drops. Just got hit with a really bad pain. But I just took the last 2 drops I know I'll need for the night. And it's a nice feeling to be without pain, be without having to take endone tonight. But I do have to check the tent. Got to do it, 99.7, still up. Hence why I'm in quarantine. So those of you out there that believe medical cannabis should be legal, please go to my Cannabis Protester website on YouTube and vote with your Billy. That campaign, by the way, has been cancelled due to the coronavirus, and it has turned into vote with your like. It's a lot easier. All you have to do is like the video over on that channel. So it's called, the channel is called Cannabis Protester. Go along, there it is down the bottom, type that in, and yeah, and it's just Cannabis Protester. So it's right down here under the screen on your page. Look at your main page, click on that, my name on that, go to that web page. No, sorry, those of you watching on my other channels, you need to go to the Cannabis Protester site. And by the way, while you're over there, like, subscribe, and click the little bell so you get notified. But what I'm going to have to do, folks, I am actually going to have to say goodnight because I'm quite tired. And I'm at that stage, I did tell you when I reach that stage that I'm going to finally be able to go to bed. Now, for those of you that have watched this video for medical reasons, do you see a raving lunatic in front of you? No, you don't. You see a man that's actually just finally got to the stage where he's not in pain anymore, doesn't need any more medication, doesn't need to go and take those endone, doesn't need to go and take those panadine forte that assist the endone to get you pain-free. Why? Because cannabis oil this evening has taken over the job of doing that. I won't have any withdrawals until about 9 a.m. in the morning because I am withdrawing off the endone and the panadine forte as much as I can whilst I've got this medication in front of me. And then I won't see this lovely medication till tomorrow evening, unless it gets really bad through the day. And I do have cabin fever, by the way. That was bound to happen, being in quarantine. I've been in self-isolated for many years, but when you get told, it's actually, there's no difference between it. It's just the fact that I'm pretty much told that the only time I'm allowed to go out is to get in my car, go up and go to the hospital and come back until I'm actually cleared of the cough and the temp. So once I don't have them, then I'm out of quarantine, but I'll still have a weak immune system, so I've got to take extra precautions when that does happen. And yeah, so those of you out there that need it, go and see your doctor. for God's sake, and talk to your doctor. And if your doctor doesn't prescribe it, say, look, why aren't you prescribing it? Why don't you go and learn how good it is? Give them this video, give them the link to this video, tell them to watch this video. They've just witnessed a person give a description of what's going on, how he's taking his medication, how he's feeling. And by the way, I actually feel euphoric. I wouldn't call it stoned. All I would say is I'm 100% pain-free. Took 10 drops of medication. That's it, 10 drops. But that's what cannabis is like. Yet you could only need 3 drops. Or Johnny down the road might need 15 drops. Depends on how the body accepts it, and because of my endone use and everything like that, yeah, it takes a little bit more for me, but I'll be able to get those numbers down, but I'll never need any more. And that's the thing I've always found about cannabis. You get that thing, you just know what the perfect position for that pain relief is, what it takes to get to that stage, and I've just hit that stage and I am 100% pain-free. As long as I don't fall arse over tit and put myself in more pain, that'd be a nightmare, that one. So, sorry I didn't start up the chat, I did forget. Yes, you can become a little forgetful, but I've actually got mum on my mind, so I wouldn't really blame this for that. It's sort of, I'm thinking about my mum's passing ceremony, so I love you all. Thank you very much, and thank you all for your concern about mum. I do really, truly appreciate it. And I'm going to say good night now. So for those of you that are new to my channel, as I said, don't forget to go to the Cannabis Protester website. Whilst you're over there, sign up, and yeah, don't forget to subscribe and click that little bell like in the demonstration down the bottom, because if you don't click that little bell, you won't actually get notified that I've made a video. I've got so many subscribers, they always get on and say, oh, where you been? And yet I've been on for a while. Haven't really disappeared, I've just been sick. Yet everybody knows I've been sick because I get on and I tell everybody. So yeah, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to click the like bell, and don't forget to go over to the Cannabis Protester website. Do the same over there as well. And vote with your like so that everybody knows you want cannabis to be legalised, and it should be. It should be legal everywhere. We should have the right to grow our own medicine. We should have the right to manufacture our own oils, as long as we use oils. So those of you out there, thank you very much for watching, and I shall catch you all later. Good night.